Due to the busy schedule, Srimati Satyabama Badrinath, Director NGMA Bengaluru, could not make her presence for this evening and has requested to convey her best regards and wishes for the exhibition. I now request Sri C.S. Krishna Setty to give the inaugural address.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the outset, I would like to tell you all that I am very, very happy to be here. To some extent, I am excited too, because the honor of inaugurating such a great show of Madhvi Parekh has been bestowed on me, an artist and art critic like me. Though it is not true, over the years, many artists of Karnataka think that NGMA space is meant only for the elite. I am glad that present management of NGMA has taken some important steps to erase that wrong notion among few artists. Anyhow, thank you NGMA, thank you Madam Madhvi Parekh and Seagull Foundation for inviting me. As you are all aware, Madhvi Parekh is one of the very well-known female contemporary artists of our times, and it is a matter of great pride that we are showcasing her latest works titled Last Supper at NGMA Bengaluru. Married to one of the great artists, Mr. Manu Parekh, who is here, Madhvi gained much of her exposure to art and inspiration for her paintings from him. As there is a saying in Kannada, Nijadim Kuritodadayum Kavya Prayoga Parinatamatigal. This, if we recreate, we can say that Nijadim Kuritodadayum Kala Prayoga Parinatamatigal, which suits to best to her, because lacking in a background in formal art techniques has not proved to be setback for this artist as she experiments with compositions and subject matters freely. Yes, Madhvi, a self-taught artist, started painting in 1964, inspired by the rich folk traditions of picture making in Gujarat. Over the years, she grew out of the constraints of the folk conventions, yet sticking to the pictorial significance of the decorative elements. Her use of oil and acrylic on canvas and watercolor on paper, a decisive shift from the traditional materials and surface of the folk painter, stimulated and broadened her artistic imagination, and initial naive charma for paintings matured and became loaded with her statements on woman, girl child, and encounters between the rural and the urban India. She explored the possibility of depicting her childhood memories through her paintings, where images of fantasy and early days are woven into her entire work, which lend a surreal, dreamlike quality. In 2011, after visiting Israel, normally, whenever she visits some new places, she takes the inspiration and her content and idiom changes, which is very evident in her many works. In 2011, after visiting Israel, Madhvi started painting the monumental works based on Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper on the walls of Santa Maria delle Grazie, Milan. Here, her technique is what is called reverse painting on acrylic. The history of reverse painting is quite old and dates to the time when glass was first invented and then painted in the ancient Roman and China. By the Middle Ages, the medium was used in sacred art, especially that which commissioned by the church in the makings of icons and other forms of Christian art across European and the Byzantine Empire. During the Renaissance, it became more widespread through Europe, and it also traveled to China and from there to India through Jesuit priests. This particular set of works titled Last Supper by the artist are centered around the life of Christ, and we see some specific visual references like cross, churches, etc. Madhavi's style of painting is truly unique in its impression of semi-folk, semi-childlike rendering of the narratives and has been widely appreciated for spontaneous and playful style of painting. Her works have time and again offered new scopes for the very language of painting with the play of colors, lines, and shapes. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that you all are eager to see her works rather than my speech, so I do not want to take much of your time. Also, this is not the time for critiquing works too. Though I have seen many of her earlier works, I am looking forward to viewing of the new set of works and hoping that this exhibition will provide a unique viewing experience to the artists and public as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I feel this is one of the smallest, shortest inaugural ceremony what we are having. And we have come on behalf of NGMA Bengaluru. I now present the vote of thanks. First and foremost, a sincere thanks to Sri C.S. Krishna Setty for accepting our invitation and taking the time out from his busy schedule to be part of this inaugural ceremony. Thank you, sir. I thank Madhvi Parekh ji for her esteemed presence for this evening. Thank you, ma'am. We would also like to acknowledge Seagull Foundation for the Arts, Kolkata, Mr. Sudhakar Rao, Chairman Advisory Committee, and the members of Advisory Committee NGMA Bengaluru, and Srimati Satyabama Badrinath, Director NGMA Bengaluru, for making this exhibition possible, and the team members, my colleagues and staff members at NGMA Bengaluru for their support. Thank you all. I also extend our gratitude to Mr. Naveen Kishore and Ms. Megha Malhotra, Seagull Foundation for the Arts. Before we close, a few announcements. NGMA Bengaluru and Seagull Foundation for the Arts, Kolkata, cordially invites you for the talk titled Madhvi Parekh's The Last Supper, a Portrait of an Icon, after the Leonardo by Annapurna Garimalla, on 28th, the Saturday of this month at 3 p.m. at the auditorium. And on 8th of June at 6 p.m., National Gallery of Modern Art Bengaluru, in collaboration with Dhaka Visa, invites you to a slide talk presentation by well-known artist Sri Ravi Kumar Kashi. Do join us for these events. Now we will proceed towards the entrance of the gallery for a formal opening and viewing of the exhibition by Sri C.S. Krishna Setty along with the dignitaries. After the viewing of the exhibition, please do join us at the cafeteria for the high tea. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening.